collections, human resources, hiring and retention. You talk about Salesforce.com, which does $3 billion in revenue a year. They're growing by 30% a year. Amazon, Thanksgiving came out Black Friday last year. Amazon did 27 million orders in one day. That's over you extrapolate that, that's 4.5 billion orders a year. That's a massive amount of data. I feel like Excel is not doing that. So it's really important to go through a structured approach to collecting, processing, and analyzing these trends. The old process is what I used to do a lot. You take data collection, kind of throw in some pivot tables, maybe computer crashes, Excel reboots, then go through that process again, and then you come out with probably more questions than answers. So this is a process that I've seen a lot. I've done a lot myself, unfortunately. It turns out to be very ineffective. What they've taught, I think instilled in all the students here, if you talk to them, I think they'll all say this, is that we focus on a structured approach. Starting with data collection and processing, cleaning, going through exploratory analysis, and then based on that, exploration of the data, perhaps going back to more data collecting, maybe different data, processing and cleaning in a different way, cycling through the modeling and communication with the board. The important thing to remember is analysis does not stop at the results. Once we have results and we can action on that, we go back and start all over again. We start asking, why did we do well? Or why did what we did not work? So a lot of whys and a lot of flowing through this process. So it's a never-ending process. Even with one set of data, there's multiple ways to look at it and go through it. So I think everyone, this program will tell you that as well. So the process is just as important as the techniques and tools we learn. But it's just a quick little, some projects we've done at work as part of pricing and market research. Worked with our sales team and operations to talk about can we improve our sales win percentage. We write contracts, customer sign those contracts, we manufacture, or we do analytical testing, that sort of thing. Looking at, we capture our sales data, Salesforce.com. Looking through that, we analyzed a lot of different variables. We found a high correlation between the delivery time of a contract, how quickly we get the contract in a customer's hands, and how often we win that project. So you can see just in delivery business days, once we get out to 2 weeks, we've dropped by 30% or so, 25-30% in our win percentage just by delaying the delivery of a contract. So through not a lot of work, just changing some processes, not a lot of investment, we were able to push our average delivery day from 7 days to 3, push our win percentage up. In our small study, we added $1 million in sales in 3 months. So now we're looking at expanding that to our other business units wider net of this process. So you can see some real financial impact through some basic exploratory analysis and some asking a lot of those questions in my case. We also looked at profitability of our ongoing projects and customers. We deal with big pharma, we deal with small companies, virtual and small companies as well. We found, over fiscal year financials on one site, we did about $20 million of revenue with big pharma companies, about $4.8 million of profit. All the other companies, we did about $12 million of revenue with $5 million of profit. So from 24 to about 41% profitability. So we show this to management, they go, yeah, I want more than that. Give me that one. I want the 40%, I don't want to do the 20% mark. So instead of just stopping here and saying, give me more of that, we started asking why and how do we do that. So we repeated and went back to the process. We started with collecting customer surveys, reviewing customer information, and through working with the sales staff, we were able to understand what each segment of customer values, and these smaller companies value our expertise, and they're willing to pay more for it. So with that information, consolidating that, reporting that out, we were able to adjust our sales strategies for different segments